What's up, guys? You know who it is. Name is on the screen. So, in this video, I want to talk to you guys about the fact that we really gotta discuss this competition thing, because I think people are not really understanding who their real competition is. Let's get into the video. Alright guys, so check it out. I've been talking about the fact that there is no competition. There is zero competition. And it sounds really arrogant. It sounds really crazy, really boastful when somebody says that. But I want you guys to understand what I mean by that. When I say that there is zero competition, when I say that there is no competition, I'm not actually just talking about myself. I'm talking about you guys as well. So I'm actually being really arrogant on behalf of you, if you think about it. But when I tell you why there's zero competition, I think you might agree with me. You might not. But if you do, then you're probably not going to think it's that arrogant. When I say there is zero competition, I mean that when you are at your best, or when you want to perform at your best, you have to understand that there's no one to chase. There's no one running with you. I constantly refer to life as, this race. If you've read my blogs, if you've listened to my podcast, then you probably have heard a couple of different metaphors, and you've probably heard this reference before. In this race, it's just you. For there to be a competition, there has to be a winner and a loser. I was talking to my coworker about this, actually, and this is actually kind of funny that it just kind of came up, I guess, because it was on my mind. But there has to be a winner and a loser. If there isn't a clear-cut winner and if there isn't a clear-cut loser, there's no competition. Like in boxing, there's a winner or a loser, or it'll be determined that both lost, which would be a draw, or that there was no clear-cut winner. But either way, it still comes back to those principles. But in everything that you're doing, you shouldn't be comparing yourself to anyone else. Your comparison should be yourself. You should be judging yourself against yourself if you're gonna judge yourself. You shouldn't be comparing yourself to the work of other people. These other people that we constantly, think are our competitors or think that, are against us, they're really not. These are people that are just out there living their life trying to be the best and trying to do their best at what they do. And in their process of trying to be the best, they're not trying to crush you. They want to coexist with you. It's just they want to be the best at what they're doing. If someone does the exact same thing that you're doing and they want to be the best, it doesn't mean that they're your competition. They're still your peer. And as your peer, they don't have to directly be somebody that's against you. If anything, they should be your ally. I think we spend so much time focusing and dwelling on the fact that, we have to have someone or something that we're resisting against, that we're kind of fighting against. And I think because we do that, or, because society has taught us to do that, it makes it difficult for us to really appreciate each other, to really, appreciate what each person can bring to the table. It makes it difficult for us to realize that if we work together, we'll all be able to accomplish our goals. For me to accomplish my goal, it doesn't have to come at the sacrifice of your goal. Even if we have the same goal, it doesn't have to come at the sacrifice. We chase this crown, we want to get the crown. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with wanting to get the crown. But you got to understand, there isn't only one crown. There isn't only one king. There isn't only one queen. There are multiple. No one said that there has to be one. We can coexist with each other. So instead of fighting against each other, and instead of trying to compete with each other, We should just be working with blah, blah. We should be working with each other. We should be collaborating with each other. We should be trying to build each other up. Listen, unless, you have a major beef with someone, unless you have a major conflict with someone where, that is clear cut your enemy, like because they've done something and you can't forgive them for it, or you feel that it's unforgivable, then okay, cool. In that scenario, I get it. I get it, that's completely different. It's a different topic. But if this person that you view as your competitor, if this company, if this individual, if this entity, whatever it is, these people, this group, this team, whatever it is, if they haven't done something that is unforgivable, and when I say unforgivable, I mean like they've done something that, you can't possibly see yourself getting over. If they haven't done that, why are we competing with them? It just doesn't make any sense. And here's the other crazy thing. So many times we end up competing with people and they don't even know that they're in a competition with us. It's really popular on Instagram. I say that because, I post a lot of pictures. I'm on Instagram a lot. You can feel free to follow me. But I feel like sometimes on Instagram and on Facebook and on Twitter and on Snapchat and on Visco and all these other social media apps that we spend so much time competing, trying to be better than the next person, trying to do better than the last person's post, trying to get on top of the next person. You don't have to step on someone on your way up. No one ever said you have to do that. On your way up, you can help people up with you. All it means is it just means we all get to the mountaintop quicker. So we don't have to compete with each other. I told you guys these videos are going to be, a little bit more personal. I'm going to tell you, personally, I have made it my goal to, instead of, looking at what people are posting and looking at, what someone's doing, instead of looking at it from a competition standpoint, instead of looking at it as, like this person's my opponent, I've made it my goal to treat every single person now that I come across on my social media as a friend, as a friend, as a confidant, as someone that I have known long term, as someone that I can help, someone that I hope one day might be able to help me. And I think by just extending that olive branch and just treating people nice, you'd be surprised how much of a difference it can make. And you'll be surprised how much stress you can relieve off of yourself if you realize that by having no competition, there's nothing to stress about. Now, the whole no competition thing, it can be a little misconstrued because I think that we do have something or someone that, we're directly racing against. I don't know if I'd say they're your competitor. I think it's an inward race. I think it's in you. I think you are directly competing, if you will, against yourself. And here's why I don't want to use the term competing, because remember I told you it has to be a winner and a loser. If you're competing against yourself, that would mean that every time you win, you lose, which means that you're a winner and a loser. And that's not possible. You can't win and lose at the same time. That would be a tie. It would be a draw. So I don't want to use the term competing or competitor when we're talking about, an internal conflict, if you will, with yourself. I'd say maybe instead we'll use protagonist and antagonist, or maybe we'll say we are in a conflict with ourselves. It's an internal conflict. The person you should be trying to be better than is yourself. Everyone that has reached the highest level of their craft, whether we're talking about basketball player, football player, golf, whether we're talking about in business, whether we're talking about entrepreneur, social media influencers, whether we're talking about chefs, whether we're talking about DJs, rappers, musicians, singers, whether we're talking about nurses, doctors, surgeons, whatever it is, everyone that is at the top of their craft, or everyone that is viewed near the top of their craft or their trade, they do not compete with anyone but themselves. They don't wake up and say, I got to do this to beat this person. No, they wake up and they say, how can I be better than I was the previous day? How can I continue to improve? So they never get stagnant. This is the reason why they're the best. Because if you're just competing against yourself and every day you're chipping away and you're just working away at being a little bit better than who you were the day before, then you're always going to be growing. You're always going to be moving up. Even if you have a setback, you can still figure out why you had the setback, and you can still make small progress towards being better. And then once you've started doing that, and once you realize that, and once you realize there's no competition and the conflict is internal, not out, not external, it's not outward, it's inward. Once you realize that and you believe that, and you start to believe in yourself, then you will not only be the best version of yourself, but then you'll also find that you're becoming the best at what you do or what you want to do. Essentially, for there to be improvement, you have to acknowledge that there's something that needs to be improved. And the improvement has to be from you. It has to be you. It's not anyone else. The improvement's not going to happen by you deciding that you're competing against someone else. The improvement is not going to happen by you deciding that you have to destroy someone else, by deciding that you gotta do messy business or shady business ethics, or that you have to slaughter someone in order for you to succeed. No, that's not how you're gonna succeed. You succeed by helping others and helping yourself, not hurting others or hurting yourself. So that's it. I could keep talking about this, but like I said, I did a podcast about it. I did a blog about it. I've got a couple posts about it. There's no competition. It's not supposed to be arrogant. It's actually the exact opposite. It's not supposed to be cocky. It's being confident, but also being humble and understanding that the improvement and the change has to be in you. So go out there and start building relationships with people. Stop looking at everyone as an enemy. Start looking at everyone as an ally. And start taking care of that conflict that's internal. And go be the best version of you that you can be. Remember, your best is the best. There's nothing else to it. So, in the process of you doing that, I hope you like the video, I hope you share the video, I hope you check out the other videos, I hope you subscribe to the channel, and I hope I see you guys on the next video. That's it, man.